Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel again. The MCP provided by Bright Data offers a one-stop solution to integrate your application, your workflow with multiple APIs provided by Bright Data. There are many advantages such as efficient data scraping, in-depth data scraping, and so on. In this video, I'm going to do a short intro about Bright Data and the Bright Data MCP configuration, and we are going to perform different tasks such as macroeconomic data fetching, product data gathering, and analysis. So let's get started. The Model Context Protocol MCP is an open standard developed by Anthropic that enables AI applications to securely and effectively connect with various data sources and tools. You may think of it as the USB of all AI apps, a universal connector that allows AI models to access and interact with external information seamlessly. There are two main components of MCP: MCP clients and MCP servers. The MCP clients are AI applications or agents that request data or actions. MCP servers act as gateways to specific data sources, such as database, API, local files. Each server knows how to retrieve and format data from its respective source in a way the AI can understand. The reason I come to this MCP tool is that recently I have been experimenting with the MCP and the windsurf to do some coding task and the web data gathering task and so on. But during the process, sometimes the agentic IDE cannot identify the proper timing to call the MCP, or it will overcall the web search tool, which will make the context too big. So eventually, the performance is not very close to my expectation. Bright Data's MCP server is a unified AI-ready access layer that provides seamless, scalable, and unblockable access to any public website, regardless of complexity or protection mechanisms. This one MCP can access the web and do different tasks, like discover relevant content across the open web, access the most complex or protected websites, extract structured real-time data at scale, interact with dynamic JavaScript rendered pages like a human. This MCP is not like some other MCP which may have partial functionality, where when you want to do a certain task, you might need to call different MCP or you need to configure additional tools. Then I did some online search and find this tool, so I decided to try it on to see if it can be used in my use cases and help me finish the tasks. So today, let's go through some use cases together and see what this MCP can do. The first thing we need to do is to register in the official website. We can sign up with our Google account. Then we can just get started. Alright, now let's jump into the MCP configuration part. First of all, you can visit the GitHub page of Bright Data MCP. Here you are going to see the configuration style of this MCP tool. Then what you need is to get the API token, which you can get from your profile page in the Bright Data official website. You can see here is a API token. You can get your token here and just insert in the API token part of this JSON configuration file. Now let's go to the MCP configuration part. First of all, you can go to the GitHub page of Bright Data MCP. In here, you are going to see there is a configuration guidance of the MCP JSON file. Here, what you need to pay attention to is the API token, where you should get from your profile page in Bright Data official website. In here, when you click account setting, you're going to see this API token part, and you can just get your API token here. What you need to do is to combine this API token to this JSON configuration. Then it is ready to be used. The unique thing about Bright Data MCP is that it offers a one-stop solution for you to integrate to different Bright Data API scrapers and web crawlers. It is very suitable to integrate such MCP to agentic workflows, where instead of setting up different tools, APIs, we just need to set up one Bright Data MCP and utilize it to fetch the data we needed. In my case, I'm going to use the TRAE agentic IDE. After opening TRAE, what you should do is to go to the upper right side, AI Management, MCP, and you can just add the MCP that you want. Here, the marketplace is about the other ready-to-use MCP, and what you should do is to configure manually, and you can just paste the MCP configuration here and confirm. Then go back to MCP part. You are going to see the MCP server is in the list. The MCP server is configured in this way, and the configuration is just as you see in the GitHub page. After you see this ready sign, it is ready to go. You can just use it. You can go to the agent option, and you can just use the builder with MCP. In this function, you can use the coding agents to work with your MCP. As you can see here, the Bright Data MCP has already been configured here. Now let's go to the first use case. So basically, I just ask the TRAE agents to gather last 5-year GDP data of China and plot it. First of all, the agents just check the context of this workplace, of the current project, and it identified immediately that it should use Bright Data MCP search engine to get the information. As you can see here, after searching in Google, it already gets some initial information, and it needs to scrape the macro trends data. It actually identified which URL to use and scrape the data, as you can see here. Then it continues to create the visualization Python file and build the requirements file, README, and so on. Eventually, you are going to see all the data prepared for the visualization, and you can see on the left-hand side, this is the visualization plot. But for the first round, the agents identified that the last 5 years was from 2019 to 2023. In this case, we could just ask the agents to better understand our intention. So I just add another prompt to say the last 5 years should be 2019 to 2023. Then the agent starts to modify the different components, and the agent called the Bright Data MCP again. So again, it goes to search, and it did a further query about the specific item of the 2024 GDP data. Eventually, this data is ready to be put in the program, and we see also the updated file information in the end. Eventually, you can see the left-hand side is the final result of China GDP from 2020 to 2024. If you check it with the Google search results, the data is accurate. In this case, we just performed a data science task with the Bright Data MCP. Before we start the next use case, there are different tools listed in the GitHub page of Bright Data MCP. These tools offers different functionality to allow you fetching different information effectively. In the next use case, we are going to use the functions related to Amazon website and see if we can get the product information and build some data visualizations on it. In this case, I'm going to ask the agents to extract Dreamy Ultra X50 product information, including name, price, rating, and 3 latest review into a JSON file using Bright Data MCP with the detailed tools, Web Data Amazon Product, and Web Data Amazon Product Reviews. So with these specific tools, we can get the very detailed and specific information we want. As you can see, the agent starts to use the search engine of Bright Data, get the URL. Then the agent calls the second tool of Bright Data to get the Amazon product information. And for the product review, the agent calls Bright Data tools again, where it used Web Data Amazon Product Reviews to get the review data. It is very thorough and detailed. The final step is to store the information in a JSON format. As you can see, we have the product name, price, rating, last reviews. So this simple example just demonstrates that by using specific tools of Bright Data, you can get very specific product information from Amazon. But with other MCP tools, it is very hard to get such data, because when you use other tools to visit these URLs, you might be easily blocked and cannot get useful information. And please bear in mind that using these tools, it is better to use this specific URL of the product. It will make it function more efficiently. If you do not use a specific URL, like in my case, I let the agents to work with MCP to get the URL and then process it. Sometimes it could take more time to process the prompt. So now I ask the agent to make another JSON file, getting 3 robot cleaning machine brands, each brand with 3 products. Save information in the same JSON format and build a product comparison HTML dashboard on this JSON file with statistics and plots. I want to do an in-depth market analysis. So the agent starts to work and calls the search engine of Bright Data. Then it decides to search again on this brand, Shark Robot Vacuum, and it goes to gather the EcoVacs robot vacuums, and eventually it gathered all the information and put them in this JSON file. As I said before, if you do not specify the URL, if we let the agents work on their own, this is one possible result that you can get, where the agents call the general tool like the search engine of Bright Data. It gathered all the useful information and stopped by concluding the search and put the information in the JSON format. As you can see, yes, we get the similar JSON format as our previous simple example, but now with a more general prompt, the agents decide to call the search engine tool of Bright Data. At this step, the job is not completed, so we just ask the agents to continue to build up the dashboards. And we can see that this dashboard is well designed, well structured to offer us insights about the product comparison and our market analysis. Now we open this dashboard, we can see that we have the filters built in. We can filter by brands, we can filter by price range, and all the plots just update accordingly. And we can also choose the different features. It is well organized. And we can also see here the product comparison of the product gathered from our search. Everything looks good. But here, the search engine tool has already gathered all the information, so it does not go into every specific Amazon link to get the information. So as you can see here, we actually have done 2 sub use cases. One small use case is to use the very specific Amazon product tool of Bright Data to get very specific information. The other one is to give a general prompt and the agents decide which tool to call and gathered useful information for us to build up the market analysis. So with Bright Data, you can go super specific and you can also go general. And in both ways, the tools are very efficient to help you accomplish your tasks. Before you use each specific tools, I do encourage you to check again the GitHub page for the tool use examples, and please make sure when you call the specific tool, use the exact name of that tool, like what we did here for the first sub-use case. I wish this video is useful for you to better understand how MCP works and help you understand the MCP provided by Bright Data to help you script data and perform different tasks. I wish you like this video. Please leave a comment if you have any question. Please give it a like and share with your friends. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.